That's all I can really tell you about it. That's all I know about it.
What about the charges against Bob Kraft? He's a friend of yours.
Well, it's very sad. I was very surprised to see it. He's proclaimed his innocence totally, but I'm very surprised to see it.
Have you spoken to Bill Barr about the release of the Mueller report? Have you spoken to him about that? You've said nothing to him about it?
I have not.
Do you expect to?
At some point, I guess I'll be talking about it. But you know the nice part? There was no collusion. There was no obstruction. There was no anything. So that's the nice part. There was no phone calls, no nothing. We have I won a race. You know why I won the race? Because I was a better candidate than she was, and had nothing to do with Russia. And everybody knows it's a hoax. It's one of the greatest hoaxes ever perpetrated on this country. So I look forward to seeing the report. If it's an honest report, it will say that. If it's not an honest report, it won't. Yeah, go ahead.
Mr. President, on troops in Syria, why are you reversing course?
I'm not reversing course. I have done something that nobody else has been able to do. In another short period of time, like hours, you'll be hearing hours and days, you'll be hearing about the caliphate. It's 100% defeated. Nobody's been able to say that. That doesn't mean there aren't some very bad people walking around and strapping on bombs and all of these things, but we've done a job that nobody else has been able to do. I heard Lindsey Graham this morning congratulating me on having defeated the caliphate, and frankly, I'm getting a lot of congratulations. At the same time, we can leave a small force along with others in the force, whether it's NATO troops or whoever it might be, so that it doesn't start up again. And I'm okay. It's a very small, tiny fraction of the people we have. And a lot of people like that idea, and I'm open to ideas. But the 2,500 people that we've had there will be going to different parts of the world. They may be going over to Iraq, where we have a very powerful base, a base that cost billions of dollars to build, frankly, and that we'll be using. But we have had tremendous success in defeating the caliphate. And now everybody's admitting, I did more in the last 3 or 4 weeks than people have done in years. And it's been very successful. But we want to make sure it stays that way. Yes, please.
Will you definitively veto that resolution that was introduced today that would block your national emergency if it passes?
On the wall?
Yes.
Will I veto it? 100%. 100%. And I don't think it survives a veto. We have too many smart people that want border security, so I can't imagine it could survive a veto, but I will veto it, yes.
We haven't gotten your response yet to Amazon pulling out of New York City, your home city, your home state. What is your
loss for New York City? I think it's a big loss. I think it's, if you look at the deal was not a great deal from the standpoint of they could have made a better deal than that, a much better deal. But still, I think it's a loss for New York City. And the $3 billion wasn't a check. It was a form of taxes over a period of time that now they'll never see, because they were going to take in a lot of jobs. They were going to take in a lot of taxes. So I think it's a big loss for New York City. It's the kind of thinking that our country's going to on the left, on the radical left. But ultimately, it's not good for jobs and it's not good for the economy, but I think it was a big loss for New York City. I come from New York City. I love New York City. I think it was a big loss for New York City. Yes, sir.
Mr. President, in North Korea, your own administration officials say that Kim Jong-un has not actually decided yet whether he wants to denuclearize. So how can you meet with him if he doesn't even want to get the gold?
We have had such a great relationship, and China has helped us a lot with North Korea and with Kim Jong-un since I got to office. If I were not elected president, you would have been in a war with North Korea. We now have a situation where the relationships are good, where there's been no nuclear testing, no missiles, no rockets. We got our hostages back. We have many of the remains back and coming back rapidly, the remains of our great warriors from many, many years ago, and the families are so thrilled and so happy. We've had a great relationship. The Singapore was a tremendous success. Only the fake news likes to portray it otherwise. We would have literally been in a war with North Korea, in my opinion, had I not been elected. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, President.